Good morning, everybody. It's July 28th, 2014. Yes, we're calling today, I'm calling it today, Monsoon Monday, July 28th, 2014. We have the Mad Dog in the house, Madison Hilimire, encore for a little sportscast between her and the dog. And, of course, as we always do on the show, we're going to give her first ups. But we welcome you on a Monday morning, and I hope that you're got a nice big umbrella. If you're walking outside, the rain, I guess, is supposed to last most of the day. But boy, did it rain the other night. I got the one-eyed dog up at 3 a.m. because I thought the roof was coming in. But not a problem. We got to deal with it. Nobody says it's going to be easy in this world. So good morning, everybody. Trust you had a good weekend. And it's supposed to clear out tonight and supposed to be pretty nice tomorrow. So we'll have to wait and see. But without further ado, it's good to bring my friend back in. Madison Hilimire, of course, going to be a junior this year at Mynderse Academy. Outstanding student, outstanding athlete. We'll talk a little about her. She's got very humble about her accomplishments. We'll try to delve some of those outstanding accomplishments later in this show. Madison, thanks for coming back for the encore.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here again.
Well, certainly Madison wants someday maybe to sit behind a sports desk and be an anchor for ESPN. Dreams are dreams, and she will do with her studies and her abilities. I'm sure she can come awfully close, if not succeed in that opportunity. And again, today we're going to talk about several topics. What we'll do is we'll go back and forth. Madison will have some comments about a few topics. And, of course, I will be discussing a few topics that I want to rail on this morning. By the way, before we get started, we have a great list of people coming in the next few weeks. Just so you know, next week we have a young lady who's a masseuse. Her name is Dusty Proventure. She has an operation up there at the Kingdom Plaza Mall. She also works part-time out at the Groggery out in Fayette. She'll be here next week talking about her line of work. On the 11th of August, we hope to get a representative in from the St. Anthony's Festival, which, of course, will be held Labor Day weekend as it has for many, many years. And if we can't get that done, I'll do a solo show. But on the 18th of August, I'm proud to announce we have landed District Attorney Barry Porsche will be here for the full half hour. And to talk about a job, he's got the job. Try to prosecute the people that do things that are not quite right. So he's got a history. Of course, he was made famous, of course, not that he wanted to be famous, with the famous Carl Carlson trial. And then on the 25th, Peter Pontius will be in the house. Peter, of course, runs corporate care. Peter will talk about what his company does to help out folks that need assistance. Without further ado, let's go to Madison and talk about her first topic, which is softball. The MA softball team 18-0. Talk about it, Madison.
Well, we had a spectacular regular season and just really couldn't get it done when it came down to crunch time. But we had a lot of fun this year, and I really wanted to talk about softball and its gaining popularity, the sport. It's really what you see on ESPN a lot. You see it when the College World Series come on. That's a lot, and I think that it should get more credit for it. I mean, before all you old people start arguing with me about baseball.
Jimmy, cut her off the air. Called us old. Okay, go ahead.
I'm just kidding.
I do have socks older than you are, but go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
But I think that it deserves a lot of credit, and it's a lot faster paced than you might think. It's a lot. I mean, baseball, it takes 5 minutes in between pitches to go, but softball, it's just quick. And I think it just deserves more credit than it's given. It's not on TV a lot. You don't see it a lot.
Now we're talking fast pitch softball.
Yeah,
here?
fast pitch, not slow pitch, not fake
That's
softball.
old folks remember slow pitch. They didn't invent fast pitch when I was a kid. Of course, I don't think we had softball back when I was a kid either. But I think that was the prehistoric age. Okay, she starts off really well, being invited by the dog to come in and do a show, and she refers to myself and Gordy, her grandfather, and Jimmy as old people. Jimmy's not even older than my daughter.
I think she was just talking about you guys.
Oh, not you, Jimmy, of course. Well, listen, okay, I think you're right. I think certain sports deserve more airtime, and certainly it's all, as you can appreciate, it's about ratings. Certainly, I've never been a big soccer fan, but I was enamored. My wife, Mary, and myself were enamored by the recent World Cup. I find, and nothing, don't get upset, start throwing rocks at the car, even though I know a few of you still do. I never got into soccer. I'm sorry. To me, it was a very, I understand it's an enduring sport by the athletes running up and down the field. But for me personally, and it's only a personal comment, I didn't see a lot of scoring You know, 1-0,
Yeah.
0-0, 2-1. That doesn't excite the dog. But I got captured by the national interest of the World Cup. It was amazing. Countries are ready to commit suicide. They're ready to just kill each other. You know, God only knows Brazil did try to kill some people after they got eliminated. But my point is, I could not believe the national glory that's involved in every single game.
Yeah.
So that caught my attention and my wife. We watched a lot of games. And as a matter of fact, we watched the games when the U.S. got eliminated. So, you know, maybe there's hope for the dog to follow more intensely the sport of soccer. All right, we'll go back to Madison in a minute, but my first topic is about the dumbest promotion I've ever seen in my life, and it deals with the team that I can't stand, and that, of course, is that Western New York team called the Bills. We hear rumors that Bon Jovi may be putting together a group to buy him. A lot of people want to buy the Bills. But, you know, I got to say, in all the years I've been around in this earth, I watched people give away stuff. If you do this, you get a free car, you draw your name and all that. And I find it ironic that over the weekend, myself and Mary went up to a longtime friend of mine and great sponsor for many years, Lynch Furniture. We bought some bedding and stuff for our apartment, and I thought it's a perfect segue to my comment. If you noticed, and it's on Channel 8 basically, there's a gentleman named Mark Schiller. He is the president of City Mattress, a fine, reputable company. I believe Mark is the president. Here he is on the gridiron of the Ralph, the Bills' home stadium, with his cute Buffalo Bills shirt that he probably got free. And I don't mind that. I love free. My middle initials, F for free. But, you know, I'm thinking, okay, he's going to announce a promo for betting. And here's what it is. Now, let me recapture in thought process about how woeful this Western New York franchise is. Everybody says, oh, the new slogan this year, it's our time. Really? I got to watch. How about the last 14 years? Did we forget about all that time? Did we forget about the last 9 years where they've had losing records consecutively? Have we forgotten about the 14 years they haven't made a playoff, by the way, an NFL record? Nobody seems to remember that. Now the Bills, everybody's jumping on the Bills bandwagon. Oh, go Bills, go Bills, go Bills. Hello? So this Mark Schiller's on the gridiron saying, I have a great idea. I want you to come in, Jimmy and his wife, to come in and buy some $3,000 worth of bedding. Perfect. New bed, box springs, all kinds of stuff. Mattress, you name it. Throw some pillows in there. So Jimmy and Kathleen, his wife, write a check, pay for the stuff, $3,000. Jimmy's a big spender. On the way out of City Mattress, Jimmy sees this big sign. Put your name and your address and your phone number in the box, and it's connected to the Bills. Jim says, hey, I'm good for games. I'll put my name down there. And he reads further. Now, ladies and gentlemen, did I just stutter and tell you they have not made the playoffs in 14 years? They have had a losing record for 9 years. Did I stutter? I don't think so. Now, Jim gets in the car and says, what is the prize about? Well, the contest says, no, Jim and Kathy may not get drawn out if the Bills have a winning record. No, 9-7. No, Jim and Kathleen wouldn't get their name potentially drawn out if they made the playoff. Just made it. Oh, no. No, it doesn't even count if they win a playoff game. Mark Schiller has the nerve to stand on the gridiron at the Ralph telling us that the only way somebody's name is going to get drawn out of that hat for a check to be written to them is if they win the AFC Championship. They're in the Super Bowl. Come on, folks. Come on, Mark Schiller. Are you serious? That is the dumbest promotion I have ever seen with my one eye in 69.6 years. I mean, come on. Why don't you say they got to win the Super Bowl? I mean, it's outlandish, ridiculous, and I think it's flat out stupid.
I think they're going to make the playoffs this year.
Good. Are they going to win the AFC Championship?
I don't think so.
Then your name and Kathleen's name has just spent $3,000. Don't expect to get a check from City Mattress.
You a Bills fan, Manny?
Oh,
No.
my God.
Steelers.
Go Steelers.
Yeah.
The dumbest promotion I've ever seen, folks. And you're going to see it on Channel 8. If you don't believe me, it's around noontime, I think he shows it. Here he is. Risk taker Mark Schiller. Outlandish. Dumbest. Let's go back to Maddie. We're talking now. She thinks Ray Rice got too severe of a penalty. No, you don't. Really don't. Talk about Ray Rice.
No. I think that if you hit your wife and drag her out of the elevator by her arm,
right.
I think that you should get a little bit more of a suspension than 2 games. I mean, you can hit a quarterback
Right.
less hard and get 6 game suspension and a $100,000 fine.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and Roger Goodell had a chance to really stick it to him, and he didn't get the job done. I think that that's another example of the media doing bad things for, society, and that it shows kids that it's okay to hit anybody.
No.
Yeah, it just missed 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's 2
you
games.
know, I guess we all, as guys say, hey, don't put your hands on a woman, and God forsake, football players, athletes, you see about it every day. They get out of control. They go to hotels. They take limos. They got more money they could ever spend. I'm not comfortable. I agree with you. I think you do the crime, you do the time, and I think they let Ray Rice with kid's glove get away with it. It's just sad. It's just totally
Ray
sad.
Rice has always made bad choices.
Yeah,
Back when he
sad.
decided what college he was going to go to, he had to decide between Syracuse and Rutgers.
Right.
And he chose Rutgers. So
Yeah, that was a bad decision.
Yeah.
But you're right, Madison. I totally agree with you. The Ray Rice ridiculous punishment, if you call it that, 2 lousy games. The money's going to lose is like nickels and dimes to you and me. But you're right. They got to have tighter controls. They got to, and Goodell could have knocked them off for 8 games, half the season.
Yeah.
To me, I don't know if that's fair or not. And then didn't Gordy say he married this woman?
Yeah.
So how stupid is she too?
Yeah, she's.
She should get her head checked out too. The guy drags you out of elevator, beats you up, and then let's get married. Give me a break. Weird. Okay, Madison, we'll come back to you in a minute. I want to before talk about this, then we'll take our commercial break. I'm sort of in a daze today, which I normally am in most days on this show, but I fathom looking at. I'm kind of one of these sports nuts that look at the paper and look at baseball standings, and I kind of follow stuff like this. And maybe it's because I'm old. And thank you, Madison, for bringing that up. But maybe it's because I wonder. Everybody says it's great to be an American. Isn't USA great? And I think it is. We have corporations, and we have tons of corporations that pay people huge salaries for. And I'm not jealous of that. If you got the worth, man, I say go after it. And I'm of the opinion too that women like Madison should get paid. If I'm doing the same job as she is, she should get the same money. That's not the case anymore. Well, it's getting better, but it's way from being fair anymore. Women do not get what men should get for the same job. That's really bugged me for years. If they got the brains and you do the same position, they should get exactly the same amount of money. But I was looking at baseball standings, and I hear a few people come out of the woodwork once in a while. Like if you're a Mets fan. I'm a Mets fan. They don't say too much of that. But by the way, they're 9 or 10 out, so check them off for another year. But Theo Epstein used to work at the Boston Red Sox front office. He was the brainchild. He was the architect that put together some good moves to get the Red Sox to be a contender, not a pretender. And by the way, this year they're struggling big time, winning the series last year. They're way back. But I'm thinking, okay, Epstein leaves Boston amidst controversy, I guess, and he gets a job with the Cubby organization. Now, why did they hire him? The owners of the Cubs have got lots of money, obviously, and they thought he would come to Chicago. He's been out there a few years, too. It ain't like it's his first run around the track. And they brought him in there to make some moves. They got some deep pockets out in Chicago and put together a franchise, a baseball team that could maybe not win the World Series, but at least get in the playoffs or scare the playoffs. Do you have any idea where the Cubs are for the, I don't know how many nth year in a row? This was a couple-day-old paper, which I throw in the back of my car. 16 out. Today is July 28th, so maybe they're 17 out or 15 out. My point is, ladies and gentlemen, myself, Madison, Jimmy, and Grandpa Gordy could sit here right now and go, next year on July 28th, I would venture to bet a $50 bill that the Cubs will be out double digits. Anybody want to take that bet? Next year. A year from today, double digits, 10 or more, they will be out of their division lead.
Or maybe they'll win the NL and get a free mattress. Somebody can get a free mattress.
How do you pay Theo Epstein $5 million a year? For what? Madison's brother, Madison's dog, Madison's cat could sit in that chair. Do what? Send a team that's just maybe a notch above the Newark Pilots, who I love. And by the way, congratulations to Bob Oman and Leslie for making the playoffs one more time. Kudos to them. My point is, why does America have people that have deep pockets, that bring in people that are going to change the fortune? I understand it takes a little bit of years. He's been out there a little bit of years. It's not his first 6 months on the job. Everybody says, well, give Sandy Alderson a chance to turn the Mets around. He's been out at New York for a bunch of years. He's probably making $3 to $4 million a year. What's up with that? Why don't you just take all those $100 bills, stack up $3 million, and just take them over the bridge here? It's a Wonderful Life. Throw them over the bridge. Jimmy would jump in the water to get them, but I'm just saying, it's ridiculous. This is how I can't stand the way the American corporation works. Pay people what they're worth for what they do for you, okay? Don't pay people because of a name. Let's go back to Madison. I'm worked up now, Madison. We're going to talk about your next topic, which is going to be what? I lost track of what it was going to be. Oh, Derek Jeter, class act.
Just so you can calm down a bit.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Give me a pill. Okay.
But I was going to talk about how, all the Yankees fans, we're diehard Yankees fans.
Yeah.
Just went to New York City, went to the
Nice.
Yankees store, almost went to the Yankees game, but I'm going to talk about how Derek Jeter and how he's been so classy over the years. When he was first brought up, nobody really expected that much from a rookie shortstop, kind of, smaller, scrawny kind of guy.
Right.
But now he has 3,000 hits. He's got phenomenal player. He's, a couple of injuries here and there, but
and he's never made the news for a bad thing.
Yeah, for a bad thing ever.
Ever.
Yeah. No.
And the sad news about Derek, and you'll be around. Hopefully, I will be too. There's some idiot sports writers that vote for induction to Baseball Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And I would venture to guess he should be a unanimous first-round ballot. There should not be one sports writer in the world that would not give him first ballot consideration,
Yes.
but there will be.
Yeah.
There will be. And I know it's going to happen. And the same thing with Mariano Rivera, by the way, retired.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I believe those two should get, if there's 100 votes, 100-0. But it's going to be 97-3, 98-2. There's going to be a couple of old codger idiots, old people that will not vote for Derek Jeter and Mariano Rivera in the first ballot, which should be a felony.
Yes.
It should be a felony.
It should be.
How do you not vote for those two guys, Jimmy? First ballot Hall of Fame.
I think they should get more suspension than
oh
Ray
my
Rice
God!
should.
Take those sports writers that don't vote for a Derek. Now you got me really going this morning. I'm going to have to take a pill after the show. Maybe we'll take a break and take it right now. But seriously, folks, Madison's got a great point. Mariano, Derek Jeter, what possibly have you come up with that could possibly stain either one of those guys that would not have a Jimmy or a Gordy or
That's
myself?
what it's all about with those guys.
It's
It's just
idiotic.
like Greg Maddux is on that level as far as I'm concerned.
Phenomenal.
Just guys that
Should get you
had
in.
long careers
Exactly.
and amassed incredible numbers. I
Yeah.
mean, those. That's why they have the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's not going to happen in our lifetime because there's always some idiot out there that doesn't do the right thing. Hey, folks, we're going to do the right thing. Got to take a break, take a couple of pills. I'm riled up this morning. We're going to talk about Ed Boudreau and a host of others to put together a golf camp at the Seneca Falls Country Club. We're going to give honor to those fine folks. Plus, the dog's got a few comments about the St. Mary's Festival and Jennifer Rogers. Get ready, Jennifer. We'll be back. Hugo Lake National Bank. Bill Ryan and his team for all of your banking needs. Offices in Union Springs and Aurora. A fine sponsor of this show for over 30 years. DA Liquor, Seneca Falls. Amy Padula and her great team will find that right spirit for you every time. Tell Amy the dog sent you. Steve Wadhams, Wadhams Enterprises, your employer of choice. Proud supporter of this show and local athletics. Bob and Leslie Oman, owners of the Oman Theater in Lyons, as well as the Newark Pilots, a minor league baseball team with a major league ballpark. Lizard's Tailgater Lounge, Waterloo, best mott sticks around where you can enjoy a drink and some laughs. SenecaFallsCountryClub.com, awesome 18-hole layout, offering a 12-month payment plan. Home of the toughest par 4 in central New York. Wilson Press, wpress.com. Seneca Falls, Rich Ricky, my good friend, and his team can handle all of your printing and mailing needs. Rich Ricky, Wilson Press, a fine sponsor of Weather This Week. Hey, we're back here. The dog is wound up along with Mad Dog, Madison Hilimire, Mynderse Academy Junior, soon to be junior in another few weeks when school bells will ring and the children will sing. And you're excited about getting back?
Definitely not singing.
Okay, not singing. This is a girl, by the way, that carries a 97 average. Is that right?
Yeah.
97. Yes. Wow, 97. The only thing I can relate to 97 is the temperature. That's phenomenal, 97. Hey, by the way, say hi to your dad. I understand he had a little injury recently, several weeks ago, and my good man, Doc, I hope you're doing well, Doc. How about saying a shout-out to your dad here?
Oh. Hey, Dad.
Hey, Dad.
Hope you have your foot resting right now.
I hear he's giving a lot of orders now that he's not.
Definitely a lot of orders.
I like that. Okay, that's good. Hey, folks, a couple of kudos goes out to a couple of different scenarios here. First off, the 2014 Finger Lakes golf camp. It's held. They're off now for a couple of weeks, but it's held at a place that I play golf out of, and along with Jimmy's being our president of the board down there, Seneca Falls Country Club. A lot of clubs do this, so I'm not saying Seneca Falls is the only one that does it, but what especially impresses me is the fact that some of these folks take time out of work to do this. Ed Boudreau, for example, he runs an insurance company. Certainly he needs to be at work, but he takes time out and takes a few hours out each Monday to do this. So to Ed Boudreau, to Johnny Sandless, to Chuck Erzman, Jason Hunt, Dennis Lay, also the Waterloo High School golf team, Hunter Sheldon and Chance Sheldon. I love that name, Chance, along with Ben Denemy. 28 kids participate. Mike Pasalakwa, the general manager of the Seneca Falls Country Club, puts on some nice food at the end for the kids and for the coaches and the people that help out. And I just want to send out a special kudos to my colleagues, who I see a lot since I play down there, or I attempt to play golf. But it's just fun to see this happen and see people take time out. And Jimmy, you being the president of the club, certainly it brings a lot of warmth to your heart because you've volunteered for many organizations, and to know that the Booties and a host of others that I've just mentioned spend time to work with 28 kids, potential golfers down the road, potential members of the club, and to learn the basic fundamentals of this wonderful game.
Yeah, if you look at our membership roster, the average age is probably 60 average.
Oh, God, yes.
And so
old people.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Old people, Jay.
How are you going to survive into the future if you're not backloading young golfers?
Yeah.
And so that's what this program's all about. And there's a picture on the front page of SenecaFallsCountryClub.com of the 28 kids, and they're all smiling. And one of my friends, Kevin Korzaneski, his son, the first week of golf camp, said, Kevin said, "You want to wear a golf shirt?" And he's like, no, I'm going to wear my T-shirt. And so he went with a T-shirt. And then as he was interacting with some of the guys you mentioned, who were all wearing golf apparel.
Nice.
And before he went to the next one, Kevin said he made him take him to the store to get him some, so he could look like a golfer, because he's got that little fever. Golf is all about, being outside, playing the game, interacting with others, and the dress is kind of part of it, So just seeing the smile on 28 kids' faces down there, playing in this golf camp, it really is a good thing.
I've had the opportunity to go down on Mondays sometimes to practice, which I desperately need a lot of. And by the way, Jim, you should know that I did help out the club yesterday. I did buy a new sandwich. Yes, I did. Just want you to know, I was having trouble out of the sand, and our pro down there, Chris Maneri, mentioned I should buy one of his wonderful sandwiches, and the deal has been taken care of. So I am carrying a brand new sandwich. And by the way, Jim, I was in 2 traps yesterday, and I got it out. 1 4 feet away, made the putt for par, and 1 12 feet away, which I missed for bogey. So
50%'s good.
Hey, baby.
Out of the sand.
Well, you know what? I got to expound a little bit about a wonderful experience that my wife and myself have every year. We have to-do lists, whereas us old folks, as Madison calls us, sometimes think about certain events that we want to go every year to. And Bob Shipley and the great folks that put on the St. Mary's Festival is one of those events. Every year, the end of July, we always make a habit to go there at least one night, and we get some good food. Of course, it's not good for your health-wise, but it's good. But we like to also go in the little gambling aspect of it. They have some fun games. They have these big cards. It's the best poker hand. You put $1 up or 50 cents up, and they're great staff. These cards are about this big, and obviously best hand will win, depending on how many people are around the table. My wife Mary loves that game, just loves that game. There she is, standing there and just having fun with the rest of the colleagues. It's great, and the food was great. The weather was great, a little warm, but it was okay. Had a cold beer, that was great. And I'm on the other side, right behind my wife, and I'm playing a game called the dice game. It's 1 through 6. It doesn't take a Mynderse graduate like the dog. When I had I beat Madison. I had 100 average. No, just kidding. When I was at Mynderse, don't take a rocket science to figure this out. It's fun. You put your dollar on. Like I was playing number 1. You could bet a quarter up to $2 max. And I was trying to be Donald Trump to try to help the church out. God only knows I need help from the church, as Gordy has reminded me many times. And I was playing $2 a throw, figuring if I lost, it would go to a good cause. And if I won, I would be able to pocket the cash. Well, thank God Gordy was there, because I almost had to go up and borrow money from him. It was a disastrous night. Now, they have this young lady behind there. Bob Shipley's in charge of the gambling aspect. And Bob, by the way, is a supervisor for 10 years out there. And also, my good friend Joe Gardino, who I used to work with at Gould's Pumps, was behind working that aspect of the game I was playing, the dice game. And there was this young lady with the cutest smile on her face. Her name was Jennifer Rogers. Jennifer, I hope you're checking me out this morning. And if not, we're going to make sure you do check it out. She was there with her little apron, and I was saying, could I get change for $10? I need 10 ones. And I put my $2 on there, and I was playing number 1, and I'm stubborn, German background. I wasn't about to go to 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. I was going to play number 1, come hell or high water. And there goes the wheel. And I'm pulling like mad for it to stop. And I wonder the way the game works, there's 3 dice on each panel. So if you got $2 on one, and if it stops and there's 2 ones and a 2, you get 2 times your $2. You get 1 1, you get 1 time. And the most you can get is 3 of the same kind. You follow my drift. Well, as the spin is going around, I'm picking on Jennifer like I always like to do. Like, come on, give me a winner. So I kind of complained a little bit, and that was a mistake. As it approaches the last click, it needs to stop for me to win. I mean, I thought I was going crazy. Stop! Stop! You know what Jennifer's doing? She's doing this. She wants it to go 1 more click so the dog don't get no dollars. She did this consistently, and what's scary, Jimmy and Madison and Gordo, is she enjoyed it. She enjoyed seeing the dog take the beating of a lifetime.
You're probably not alone. They probably could have sold tickets.
Oh, my God, Jimmy. I was getting crushed, and this woman was just smiling from ear to ear. Let's pound the dog, and here's another spin. And all of a sudden, I needed to stop. Oh, no, I needed to go 1 more click to get some cash on my number 1. You know what she does? She's going like this. Stop! The woman drove me nuts. So, Jennifer Rogers, we're spotlighting you at the end of my show today. I'm going to tell you something, my dear. I will be back. The dog will have revenge. I think I lost $42. I don't know what it was. It was horrible. Thank God Gordy was in the crowd. I almost went over and borrowed money. I couldn't make it home. I needed to get a cab out of there. But in all seriousness, Bob Shipley, Jennifer Rogers, all the great people that put that together. And I know you all have great fairs in the area. Phelps has some things going on. Everybody. Kudos to all of you for putting those events on. Those are summer highlights. You had a good time, right?
I did have a good time.
Well, I had a good time until I met Jennifer Rogers, who was pulling against the dog. Just kidding, Jennifer. You did a great job.
I'd bet against you, too.
I know you would. That's why you're not going to be invited back. Okay. But all seriously, we'll have you back. Hey, but anyway, by the way, one other comment about the St. Mary's Festival. The dog likes giblets and sauce. I do like giblets, and I'm a fussy eater. To my good friend, Dr. John French, I think he's in charge of the giblet area. Boys, ladies, hot, too bland, TB, no taste. You got to go to Abigail's, get the recipe, baby. Make them hot. I like hot giblets. They were too bland. Okay, that's a dog advice. And if you guys can't handle it, I'll bring in some from Abigail's and we'll get them hot. All right, so we've ranted and raved about everything under the sun. So let's talk about you before we wrap up the show. You're a very humble young lady. You never take great pride in bragging about yourself, but let's talk about your baseball whirl around this past summer. What were you batting as far as, and what team did you play for?
I played for the Fearless Friction. This year, it was our last year as a team.
And you were batting about 500?
About 500, like 480.
How many RBIs?
I'm not sure how many RBIs, but
and position you play?
I play shortstop mainly, and I'll play the second base in the outfield.
Got a good arm?
Yeah. Well,
can you throw the dog out running down to first?
Maybe.
She could field the grounder and run over to first and tag the bag.
Hey, that's my owner. Yeah. So, you kind of like this dog taking shots, huh? So, you're an outstanding student, carried a 97 average. You're batting 500 in baseball. You're going to be a junior this year. You have visions of going on to college. Your goal someday is to be an anchor for ESPN,
yeah,
right?
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't like maybe. You got to be confident.
Maybe.
I can do it.
I've got a couple other.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe. Haven't really made up my mind yet.
Well, yeah, but that was your goal. You want to try to secure it,
Yeah.
Nothing says, hey, if you get to the door and they won't let you in, it's okay. You tried, though,
Yeah, maybe Syracuse.
How do you think
There
I
you
became?
go. I like that.
How do you think I became a sportscaster? Because I paid my way in. No, seriously. Yeah. But, hey, you got to have a dollar and a dream, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, well, listen, we said hi to your dad. We've talked about your family. You've called us all old people to insult us here. So,
what about next year's senior year at Mynderse softball team? You didn't lose a game this year in the regular season.
We didn't lose a game. I mean, we lost a couple seniors. Heather Polino, we lost Heather Polino. We lost a couple others that were, but I think we'll be okay. I mean, we were a younger team this year. Mm-hmm. Most of our infield, I mean, our first baseman was an 8th grader and had, I think, the second most RBIs. Heidi Miller.
Yep,
Heidi
Miller.
Right.
Very good athlete. Be watching her, but
good.
I think we'll be okay.
Now, you play softball. What other sports? Basketball?
I play basketball, but just for,
2 sports.
Just for.
Well, you ought to do more sports, You've got extra time,
Yeah.
Maybe you could serve.
She carries a 97 average. That takes up some time. You're just assuming she had time because you were, 64 and 64?
No, you got to get the numbers right. I graduated in 63. I was taking the general education, and the teachers got together, and you did 65 to graduate, Jimmy, back at the academy days. Yep. And they all got together in the teachers' conference room and said, we're getting Weber out of here at a 63.1. So it was 63 and 63 my GPA. And that's a true story. All the teachers got together and said, we cannot tolerate this guy for one more year. He's out of here. So thank you very much for bringing that up. So I had a GPA in the general education of 63. She's 97. 73, 83, 90. That's impressive. That's impressive.
Thank you.
Well, listen, someday I'll have to come out to the baseball diamond. We'll have to throw the ball around.
All right.
And see if you can throw me out at first. I'm pretty quick. Ask Dave Barnick. He bet me $10 one day that he could beat me in a 100-yard dash.
Instead of a web dog, it should be Flash.
Yeah, I've been called, oh, baby. Jimmy can't go on the air with a lot of names I've been called. So Dave Barnick, our broadcast partner, made a bet with me one day before Brockfield's football game that he could beat me in a 100-yard dash. How stupid was he? I blew him away, baby. I still got that $10 wrapped up at home underneath the bed. Well, listen, folks, Madison, thank you for joining us, and it's nice to have you come on. And if you get bored, you can always, serve dinners to old people at homes. It's okay. I'd be there.
All right.
Gordy'd be there.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming
Anytime, Madison. Love having you in here.
We will have her back. Yes, we will. This will be like every few months we'll have her come back for an encore show. It's a lot of fun working with Madison. Next week, folks, we're talking masseuse. I should have got a table. She could have. Dusty Provencher will be in the house next week. She will be talking about her job as a masseuse. Jimmy, how about a table next week? She could do the massage. I could do the show while she's doing the massage. Jimmy, think outside the box.
See what we can do.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. Have a lot of fun. We hope you enjoyed the show this morning. We always have some laughs, don't we? I got to settle down, though. I got to take some more pills before this show. Take care, everybody. Enjoy your week and stay dry today. That's a look at Weber this week, my way.
By becoming a patron of FingerLakes1.com. Visit patreon.com/FL1.
FingerLakes1.com